afternoon. Welcome to 2020 Migrant Worker Poetry Competition. My name is Sugiyarti and I was the winner of 2018 Migrant Poetry Competition, and also part of the Migrant Theatre, and you might have seen me at the play earlier. I'll be the MC for today, and I'm not alone. I have my friend here, my partner in crime at the Migrant Theatre alongside me.
Hello, I'm Naivi, the first runner-up of the 2017 Migrant Poetry Competition in Singapore, and one of my poetry has been published under the Call and Response anthology, and as Sugi mentioned, I was also part of the Migrant Theatre. We are so excited to see all of you on screen and joining us here today to continue in this incredible event where our fellow brothers and sisters will be able to share their stories. And we believe that some of these powerful poetries have become increasingly relevant given how the pandemic has affected people's lives.
The Migrant Poetry Competition was first held in 2014 and has quickly established itself as one of the key events in the cultural calendar in Singapore. The objective of the competition are to provide a platform for mutual understanding between Singaporean and migrant workers while celebrating the literary talent of migrant workers in Singapore. The event also seeks to promote greater tolerance of multiculturalism and give a voice to foreign workers. The competition is organized by a group of volunteers who are migrants and Singaporeans under the Global Migrant Festival. Ida Supahat is the lead coordinator for the poetry competition in Singapore and Malaysia. Ida will share a little bit more about this.
Thank you, Naivi and Sugi, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Ida Supahat. It's really nice to meet all of you on the screen. I hope the next time we will be able to meet in person safely. It's really unfortunate to not be able to have this event on a physical stage, but I'm really proud of the entire team to be able to adapt quickly and to provide a platform for all the poets. I would like to give a huge shout out to and thanks to the amazing volunteering committee who has helped to make this happen, and of course to all the participants who submitted their entries. We are really proud of you, and we had received an overwhelming response. We received over 160 entries, which was a huge milestone for us. I am incredibly heartened to see the support that we have received, and we are proud to be able to share your stories in your voice on this global stage. I'm super excited for you to listen to the poetry readings of the 16 finalists, and please stay till the end of the program, and don't forget to share and spread the word about us. Thank you.
Thank you, Ida. Before we get to that, we would like to give a huge thanks to our supporting partners, the High Commission of Canada, DBS, the Arts House, SingLit Station, Ben & Jerry's, LTT Global, and Thinkro. Let us hear from Lynn MacDonald, the High Commissioner of Canada to Singapore.
Hello, bonjour. I'm Lynn MacDonald, High Commissioner of Canada to Singapore. It is a great honor to be given the opportunity to address you at the finals for the 2020 Migrant Worker Poetry Competition. Canada is proud to support the competition for the second year in a row. We are also proud supporters of this year's Global Migrant Festival. I'd like to first congratulate the organizing team, as well as the translators and production crew, for providing migrant workers in Singapore an important platform for creative expression through the written word. I understand that you have all volunteered many hours of your personal time to put this together. A huge kudos to all of you. As we're all aware, many cultural events around the world have been cancelled or postponed indefinitely due to the current global pandemic. This affects not only the performers, but also the participants and audience members who gain so much from experiencing these performances. I'm therefore delighted that this competition is taking place, albeit in a slightly different format this year. Even more importantly, this competition is taking place against a backdrop of COVID-19. The pandemic continues to disproportionately affect vulnerable populations, including migrants, around the world. This heartbreaking reality must be urgently addressed. In Singapore, migrant workers have suffered considerably throughout the pandemic, as cases spread rapidly and dorms were locked down. This has not been an easy period for anyone, but the migrant population has been acutely affected, and our hearts go out to you all at this difficult time. So the event this year takes on a very important significance, giving a voice to those who are underrepresented and a platform not only for creative expression, but also to communicate to audiences the experiences, the hardships, and also the messages of hope, solidarity, and community through poetry. This event is particularly meaningful to us as Canadians. As an immigrant country where 1 in every 5 Canadians was born outside the country, Canada is deeply committed to fostering a culture of inclusion at home and around the world, including a celebration of the immense contributions that migrant communities make to our societies. We are by no means perfect, and our model of multiculturalism is by no means a finished product, but we remain deeply committed to fostering a culture of diversity and inclusion within Canada and to welcoming immigrants into our society. We know that diversity brings us many benefits, not just economic, as mentioned earlier, but also better social cohesion and tremendous health and civic benefits. Let us continue to celebrate what makes us unique, and this includes recognizing the immense contributions that migrants and immigrants make to our societies, our economies, and enriching our cultures. Let us commit ourselves to fostering tolerance, respect, inclusion from all levels, from bottom up and top down, and to never let fear, grounded in misunderstanding of the other, take hold in our societies. In closing, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to all participants who entered this year's competition for sharing with us your diverse perspectives, experiences, and talents through poetry. I've read through some of the submissions from this year's competition and recall fondly much of the amazing poetry from last year's competition, and I remain incredibly impressed by the profound writing and talent of you all. Your experience, your views, your emotions, your fears, all of this matters and all of this is important. On behalf of the High Commission of Canada, thank you for giving us a platform to support such a unique and meaningful event. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you so much, High Commissioner of Canada to Singapore. Of course, let's not forget our friends from the migrant worker community organization such as HOME, TWC2, AIDHA, HATSUF, Indonesia Family Network, Philippine Family Network, Friends of Migrant Workers, Singapore Migrant Friends, and many others. This organization has been very instrumental in supporting our fellow brothers and sisters during these challenging times.
We wouldn't be able to get this far without their support for sure. Now I'd like to introduce to you to a very important group of people, our judges. These individuals have the difficult job of singling out the 16 finalists from over 160 submissions this year. Thank you so much to Shane Carion, Denver Ejim Torres, Rebecca Hack, and Loy Soy Kiet. As a quick recap, the top prize winner will receive 1,000 Singaporean dollar, second prize will win 500 Singaporean dollar, and third place will receive 300 Singaporean dollars. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce to you the next set of judges who will be judging the 16 finalists and determine the 3 winners of this year's competition. First up, we have Alvin Pang. Alvin Pang is a poet, writer, and editor whose broad creative practice spans over 2 decades of literary activity in Singapore and elsewhere. Featured in the Oxford Companion to Modern Poetry in English, his writing has been translated into more than 20 languages, and he completed a PhD in writing in 2020. Next, we have Kay Kanagalata. Kay Kanagalata is an associate editor at Tamil Muraso, Singapore Tamil daily newspaper. She is the author of 2 collections of poetry in Tamil, Fire Space in 2003, A Screw Pin in Snake Forest in 2004. Her 2007 short story collection, The Woman I Murder, won the Singapore Literature Prize in 2008. Her poems and short stories have been published in multiple books and various Tamil literary journals in India, Malaysia, Sri Lanka, and France. Her works also have been translated into English, French, and German.
Third, we have Nabila Said. Nabila Said is a playwright, editor, and poet. Her plays has been presented in Singapore and London. Her play In South Poesias 2019 is published by Nick Pern Books UK. She is the founder of playwright collective Mind to List Group and is also currently the editor of artsequator.com. Lastly, we have Cho De Zheng. Singapore-born Cho De Zheng, aka Cho De Zheng, writes poetry primarily in Chinese. and has won awards such as the Singapore Literature Prize 2014 and Golden Point Award 2009. His poems in English translation are found in lyricline.org and at Ethos, and Poetry at Sangum, and various anthologies. Former lecturer, Chinese language literature at NUS and NIE, he is currently pursuing a PhD at the Cambridge University.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to introduce to you the 16 finalists of the 2020 Migrant Worker Poetry Competition for Singapore. Let's kick it off with Chris Malco. Chris Malco is a Philippine registered civil engineer and PMI certified project management professional with 13 years of collective experience in engineering, consulting, project management, and construction management. The past 7 years of his work here in Singapore have been with the Land Transport Authority. He is 36 years old and was born in Marinduque, Philippines. He is married and has a beautiful daughter. He has been living here in Singapore with his family since 2013. Chris started writing poems when he was in grade school, and he continued to write up until college. Writing poems, which is one of his hobbies, is one of his ways to relax. It is also his medium to express his opinions, shares his emotions and experiences, and inspires the readers. As a migrant, he believes that it is his responsibility to work hard for the country that let him in, and at the same time, he must improve and nurture himself to prepare for the challenges of the future.
Obrerong Dayo. Patapos na ang araw nang ako'y mapatanaw sa panorama at istruktura ng banyagang lugar na may tingkad ng rangya at kalidad ng buhay, syudad na di kawangis ng bansang pinagmulan. Marubdob man ang may pigil ang aking paghanga, sa bansang tanging hangad ay kumayod gumawa. Pag-alayan man ang pawis at talentong angkin, kapalit lang ay salapi, sa inunan din ang himpil. Naisip ko nga kaming mga obrerong dayo, katulad ko'y laging isip ang pinagmulan ko. Kung sana ang talentong pinasita sa iba, kung sa ating bayay nakapagpaunlad sana. Ngunit parang ganun nga lang buhay ng tao. Malayang maglipana saan man nais sa mundo. Kaya't bukod sa kita, mag-impok tinandunong ng pagbabalik ay higit na makatulong. Pero kailan mangyayari ang ganong kalagayan? Panahoy lumilipas, maging ang kalusugan. Siguro kapag ang bayad ay di na kailangan, babalik na't maninilbi sa ating inang bayan.
Dipankar Basag is a Bangladeshi migrant worker. He has been working at Keppel Shipyard in Singapore for 12 years now. He would like to thank Singapore for taking care of all of its migrant workers, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic.
ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে সিঙ্গাপুরে অভিবাসী শ্রমিকদের কবিতা প্রতিযোগিতায় আমাকে অংশগ্রহণের সুযোগ প্রদানের জন্য। আমি আমার কবিতা পাঠ করছি। কবিতার নাম শ্রমিক। পুঁজিপতিরা শোষণ শাসনে শ্রমিকেরই করে অপমান। শ্রমিক চেয়েছে শুধু ন্যায্য মজুরি, যথাযথ সম্মান। জমিদার প্রথা হয়েছে বিলোপ, তবুও কমেনি কৃষকের শোষণ। আধুনিক শিল্পায়নেও বঞ্চিত শ্রমিক পায় শুধু লাঞ্ছন। শ্রমবাজারে মানুষের হয় বেচাকেনা, তবুও মানুষ প্রবাসে আসে, করে কত ধার দেনা। চোরাপথে ভেসে ভেসে নতুবা দালালের খপ্পরে হয় প্রতারিত। শ্রমিকের কি দোষ বলো? পেটের দায়ে সচ্ছলতার তরে জীবনের ঝুঁকি নেয় অবিরত। তবুও মানুষ হাড়ভাঙা পরিশ্রম করে করছে উপার্জন। শ্রমিক চেয়েছে ন্যায্য মজুরি, যথাযথ সম্মান। মালিক হয়ে উঁচুতে উঠে অহংকার আর ধনের মোহে দেয় না শ্রমিকের মান। পুঁজিপতিরা শোষণ শাসনে করে শুধু অপমান। আমি শ্রমিক, নিঃসংক চিত্তে বলি শ্রমিক, মজদুর শ্রমিক। আমি শ্রম দিই, ঘাম দিই দুমুঠো ভাতের জন্য। আমি শ্রম দিই, ঘাম দিই বেঁচে থাকার জন্য। আমি শ্রম দিই, ঘাম দিই পরিবারের জন্য। আমি শ্রম দিই, ঘাম দিই সাম্যতার জন্য। আমি নিজেকে শ্রমিক ভাবি ন্যায় বিচারের জন্য। আমি নিজেকে শ্রমিক ভাবি বৈষম্য দূরীকরণের জন্য। আমি শ্রম দিই, ঘাম দিই সাম্যতার জন্য। আমি শ্রমিক, নিঃসংক চিত্তে বলি আমি শ্রমিক, মজদুর শ্রমিক। ধন্যবাদ সকলকে।
Eleanor Fadila is from Kroya, Cilacap, Central Java, Indonesia. She has been working as a domestic worker in Singapore since 2011. She believes words are very powerful. Through writing, we can create more understanding to make the world more worth living in.
Twilight Symphony in the City of Thousands of Lorries. Here, in this city of thousands of lorries, shade of gold sketch the marble sky. Trees dancing with the rhythm of bird tweeting on its branches. Under the mountain of grain, sweat mixed tears puddled and dried. Dreams coated in dust, dirt, and danger. Voyagers singing songs of longing with melody of cars buzzing. Rhapsody of hope and prayers romanticize the shadow of death. Cherry blossom smiles of angelic faces cures the old, weary souls. The air fills with aromas of home-cooked khichdi immersed with fresh brewed chai. The sun ready to set and exchange its duty with the moon. Stars slowly flickers, one by one. Lorries arrive with no shield but faith in each of its sides. With soft touch of evening breeze, stories packed, carried, and kept separate lorries and its passengers to warehouses, to dormitories. Twilight Symphony become their lullabies. Deafening silence wishes them a good night.
Istiqomah is an Indonesian worker and caregiver who has been serving in Singapore for 6 years now. She is a single parent with one daughter. She always tries to be happy and make herself useful to others. She believes that a dream is the first step into success in real life.
Hi everyone, everybody. I will read my poem tentang wanita. Tentang wanita by me Istiqomah Ong Lati. Lekuk tubuhnya indah bagai merpati. Jalannya lemah bagai seorang putri. Suaranya lembut, menawan hati. Lambaiannya gemulai bak seorang penari. Wanita dicipta karena beda, untuk menghias lebih indah dunia fana. Dengan aneka rupa pembawa nikmat semata. Nikmat akhirat, bukan nikmat dunia saja. Wanita tegar tanpa takut meregang nyawa. Demi sekecil keluar dari rahimnya. Demi si buah hati menikmati indahnya dunia. Demi si malaikat kecil menghirup udara. Wanita tegas, lugas, cerdas, berilmu. Membuat si kecil bisa memanggil mama atau ibu. Memberi contoh bak seorang guru. Mendidik dan mengajari agar si kecil bisa jadi raja atau ratu. Wanita tegar, kukuh, tiada keluh. Di saat si kecil berpanas mandi peluh. Memberi dekapan untuk mengurangi rasa gemuruh. Sambil memberi obat dengan terus memohon pada Sang Maha Teduh. Wanita kuat, tegar dengan tangan kekar. Segala karya dilahap tanpa gentar. Segala rusak dibenahi dengan lancar. Segala kacau dihalau dengan sabar. Wanita luas, kewas, sedap dipandang. Sesedap santapan yang hari-hari dibuat. Nasi, sayur, lauk, minuman, dan buah lezat dihidangkan dengan rasa gembira dan penuh harap. Wanita cantik, cerdas, dan lincah. Karena tahu kebutuhan terus bertambah. Tiada sesal harus berpacu ke negara sebelah. Demi meraup dolar untuk jadi rupiah. Wanita, kau hebat. Walau tanpa pangkat kau bisa meroket. Walau tanpa gelar kau bisa menggelegar. Wanita, banggalah jadi pejuang dolar. Thank you.
Jiang Seng Mai, who is originally from northern Myanmar, currently works in Singapore as a caregiver. She was born in Myit Kien, the city of Kachin State. Aside from working, she spends her time studying to complete a psychotherapy and counseling course. She hopes to find success someday.
တူမလေးကျမမြို့တို့တက်ကအလောက်ရှာတော့ဘွဲစားနေတွေ့စင်ကာပူတို့ဆက်ရောက်လာမြို့ပြကြီးရဲ့မန်ချက်တွေနဲ့တံပြန်လင်းလက်ကရှစ်နောက်တောင်မြောက်ပြေးလွှားရနောက်နေလာတဲ့ကျမစင်ကာပူရောက်မှမြင်ဆန်တက်လာအချင်းဤတန်ဖိုးကိုပိုချစ်တက်လာတယ်လို့သူတောင်းလာတဲ့အချိန်တွေကိုမကုန်ဆုံးချင်ခဲ့တာအမှန်ပါပဲတိုးတော်လဲအ ခြားနည်းလမ်းမရှိပါကွယ်မျိုးလေးချက်ပန်းတန်ရောက်ရှိရဲ့ကျူးစားရရှာအင်းနဲ့အားတင်းထားတဲ့ကျမ၏စိတ်ဓာတ်ရက်တွေလတွေကြာလာလေအင်ကိုလွမ်းတဲ့စိတ်တွေတငွေ့ငွေ့နဲ့ကွယ်ပြောက်သွားအနာဂတ်လပ်ပဖို့ဘဝလက်တွဲပေါ်ကျင်ရတော့ဘူးငေးမောကြည့်ဖူးစာဖက်တလွဲကျမ၏ဘဝဟိုရွှေ့ဒီရွှေ့အခါခါအတီးတကြမဖြစ်တော့ရွှေ့ပြောင်းအလုပ်တမ၏ဘဝတခါတလေမှာလွမ်းတလို့ဆွေးတလို့ခံစားလာတေးချတဲ့သူ့ကိုအဲ့ဒါကိုကော်ဖီပါပဲသူမပါလင်းကျမဘဝစုပ်ပြတ်တဲ့ဘဝလက်တွဲပေါ်ကော်ဖီပါသူ့တော့သူ့ထက်ချီရမေတူကိုပြန်တွေ့အနမ်းတပွေအမြင်ပေးတတ်တဲ့ mass ပါပဲဘေးသွားဘေးထွက် mass နဲ့နန်းပထမအချက်တော့ mass ပြစ်လား mass နဲ့ဆိုရင်စိတ်ချရကိုဗစ်ကြီးကို mass နဲ့သူတိုက်စစ်ချအဲ့ဒါရှိပြောင်းအလုပ်တမကျမဤဘဝ
Jovelyn A. Posibe is a foreign domestic worker who has been working in Singapore for 15 years now. Being away from her family has been especially hard for her. She left her children at a very young age because of poverty, and her passion for writing poems was restored after she went abroad. Writing is her way to elevate her longing for her children.
Hi, good day to everyone. My name is Jovelyn A. Pasibi, a migrant worker here in Singapore for 15 years. And in the field of poetry, I am just a humble writer. I loved to write poems when I was in secondary, and when I went abroad, the only way that I can express my longingness to my family is by writing poems. At ito po ang aking tula na alay po sa inyong lahat. Sana po ay magustuhan po ninyo. Sa likuran ng mga larawan, OFW. Tulalang nakatingala sa kawalan, ginugunita ang araw na nagdaan. Noong ako'y di pa ng ibang bayan, ako'y salat, madalas diyan kumakalam. Isang bagay ang sumagi sa aking diwa, lisan ang bayan, hanapin ang pag-asa, upang makaahon sa pagkadukha at ang kaginhawaan ay matamasa. Paay kusang humakbang papalayo, tangan ang mga pangarap na binuo. At habang ako'y lulan ng eroplano, luha sa aking mga matay na muo. Digmaan sa buhay ko ay nag-umpisa, maghapong trabaho, walang pahinga. Pagsapit ng gabi, ngalay ang mga paa, pagal na katawan, nais nang ipahinga. Sa gabing tahimik lungkot ay nadama, napayakap sa unan, luhay kumawala. Impit na paghibbi, tuluyang pinalaya, maibsan lamang, nadaramang pangungulila. Binata ang lahat, paghihirap di ininda, hanggang ang katawan ay nasanay na. Tanging nasa ay mapabuti ang pamilya, nang di na makaranas ng hirap at dusa. Tinig ng aking mga supling na pinananabikan ay nagmimistulang musika sa puso'y kaygaan. Ngunit di ko maiwasan ang manghinayang, sapagkat lumalaki silang di ko nagagabayan. Binalot ng lungkot ang aking kamalayan, sa tuwing sila'y may sakit di ko sila maalagaan. Gustuhin mang liparin kanilang kinaroroonan, dasal lamang sa puon siya kong makakapitan. At habang minamasdan ng mga litrato, nakuha sa iba't ibang tanawin paglabas ko, ang ngiti at saya sa bawat kuhang anggulo. Sa likod nito ay mga kalungkutang nakatago.
Mahfuzur Rahman is originally from Bangladesh. When he was a student, he received an opportunity to work here in Singapore. He has been here for almost 7 years now, and he works to support his family as much as he can.
কে আমি প্রবীণ নয়, নবীন নয়, আমি এক রক্তাক্ত হৃদয়ে মানব। আমি শিশুও নই, কিশোরও নই, আমি এক লোহিত ভাস্কর্যের নিদারুণ দানব। আমি সরকারও নয়, মন্ত্রীও নয়, আমি এক লাঞ্ছিত বঞ্চিত সমাজের নিরুৎসাহিত দম। আমি পাগলও নই, ভালোও নই, আমি এক রহমা অতিথির শরণার্থীর নরাদম। আমি তো আমারই নয়, আমি এক আটকে পড়া শেষ সময়ের ইতিকথা, যেন আমি এক কালো মেঘের আড়ালে ঢাকা নিশিরাতের জ্বলন্ত জ্যোৎস্না।
Laura Jane Superior Arugay is domestic worker from Taguig City in the Philippines. She's the mother to Christian and a graduate of business management at International Management School. She's a strong, spirited person who sees nature as inspiration for writing.
Flower Room. As our journey began, it kept me wondering for a while. Silence grew louder as we stepped farther. As we reached the corner of the street, you ran as fast as you could. Pause for a little while, pick up a weed. Oh, this weed you mistook for a flower. As I held this weed, how this flower or weed knocked my heart. You said, for you, it means love. Doesn't everyone love flower? With a smile and half teary eyes, I held your hand and whispered, thank you, my dear. And as we continued to walk, the road began to bloom.
Malai Kanan Ramaraj was born in the southern part of India. After completing his master's degree with honors, he moved to Singapore to work as an engineer. He currently works for the Continental Automotive Singapore. He has a caring wife and a cute daughter. His writing journey started during school, and he always connects to nature with his poems. In a nutshell, he sees being a software engineer as a profession and being a poet as a passion.
நான் மலைக்கண்ணன் ராமராஜ், மென்பொருள் துறையில் சிங்கையில் பணியாற்றுகிறேன். அகத்தியன் கண்ட அமுதமொழி, அமிழ்தினும் இனியமொழி, நம் தாய்மொழி தமிழை வணங்கி என் கவிதையை சமர்ப்பிக்கிறேன். கவிதையின் தலைப்பு மாலை வெளிச்சம். முன்னுரை: சூழ்நிலை மற்றும் புரிதலின்மை காரணமாய் பிரியும் தலைவனும் தலைவியும் நினைவிக் கொண்ட உரை கவியாக்கப்பட்டது. ஒரு மாலை பொழுதில் ஒருவர் மற்றொருவர் தோளில் சாய அந்த கதிரவன் மாலை வெளிச்சத்தால் ஆசீர்வதிக்கிறான். குறிப்பு: தலைவி தலைவனின் கருவை சுமக்கிறாள். தலைவன் தலைவியை நோக்கி வினவியது. விடை கொடுவன தாளிடும் கைகளும், நில்லென நாடும் பிரியா மனமும். போர்க்களத்தில் எதிரெதிரே என்று என் வழிகள் பல்லாயிரம், உன் விழியால் மறைத்த என் கருவிழி நீ. கரங்களில் படரும் பரிதவிப்பின் ரேகைகளில் உன் பேரன்பின் சாயல்கள். நீ ஒரு வகை போதை என்றால் நான் மற்றொரு வகை மாயை. நீ ஒரு வகை போதை என்றால் நான் மற்றொரு வகை மாயை. பல வழிகளை கண்ட எமக்கு கிளி உண்ட கோவை பழமாய் கிடைத்தவள் நீ. பல வழிகளை கண்ட எமக்கு கிளி உண்ட கோவை பழமாய் கிடைத்தவள் நீ. நம் நிகழ்காலத்தில் தொலைத்ததை நம் நிஜ காதலில் கண்டோம். கண்ணாம்பூச்சி ஆட்டத்தில் இன்று கண் மூடுகிறது நம் காதல். கண்ணாம்பூச்சி ஆட்டத்தில் இன்று கண் மூடுகிறது நம் காதல். கலை இழந்த சிறகாய் விழுந்த நான் நீ வர மலர்ந்தேன், இனிமையை உணர்ந்தேன். என் கவி உன் செவிப்பட என்னுள் இரு இதயம் கணக்கிறது. என் கவி உன் செவிப்பட என்னுள் இரு இதயம் கணக்கிறது. கவிதைகள் கொண்டு தரும் காவிரி ஊற்றை கண்ணில் தந்தவள் நீதானே. கவிதைகள் கொண்டு தரும் காவிரி ஊற்றை கண்ணில் தந்தவள் நீதானே. மனம் தரா மலரென்று மரணிக்க இருந்த என் காதல் உன்னால் மயங்கியது, மலர்ந்தது. நாம் நம் தோளிலே சுமந்து சிவக்கிறோம் காதல் எனும் மருதாணியாய். நாம் நம் தோளிலே சுமந்து சிவக்கிறோம் காதல் எனும் மருதாணியாய். இனி அன்னையில்லா குழந்தையாகும் என் இதயமில்லா உன் சுவாசம். எடுத்துச் செல் என் இதயத்தை உன்னிடமே. விம்மியது தாமரை கிறங்கி நகரும் நாளிலே பாவை மயில் சாயுதே மன்னவனின் மார்பிலே. தலைவி தலைவனை நோக்கி வினவியது. தலைவி தலைவனை நோக்கி வினவியது. அன்பென வந்தாய் அள்ளி அணைத்தாய். அளவிலா அன்பால் திகைத்தோம் திணறினோம். கோவத்தை கொல்லையில் விட்டு வழி அனுப்ப விழி இல்லையா? என் மூச்சை நிறுத்தி உனில் என்னை வதம் செய்ய போகிறாயா? உன் மூச்சை நிறுத்தி உனில் என்னை வதம் செய்ய போகிறாயா? களவை லைத்த இரு பசு காதல் மொழி பேச அந்த சந்திரனே வெக்கப்பட்டான். களவை லைத்த இரு பசு காதல் மொழி பேச அந்த சந்திரனே வெக்கப்பட்டான். ராதையும் கோதையும் ஐயமுற அன்று என் ஐம்புலன் கொண்ட என் மெய்யவன் நீ. நான் நீயாக மாறிய இன்ப பாசுரம் மஞ்சம் கணக்க மடி கணக்க இப்பாவை மயில் சாயுதே இன்று. நான் நீயாக மாறிய இன்ப பாசுரம் மஞ்சம் கணக்க மடி கணக்க இப்பாவை மயில் சாயுதே இன்று. என்னவனே உன் மாறு போதும் என்றும் மலர்வேன் மலராய் உன்மடியும். உன் பிரியத்திற்குரிய இதயம் நாளும் உருகி திணறும் உனக்காக. ஐயம் ஆயிரம் நீ கொண்டாலும் ஐயன் உன்னை நான் மறவேன். துயரத்திலும் தூரத்திலும் தொலைக்காமல் உணர்வேன் நம் காதலை. தூக்கி எறிந்தாலும் துணை நிற்பேன் நிரந்தரமாய். உந்தன் தோளில் என் கண்ணிமை காண காவியம் எழுதுகிறது மாலை வெளிச்சம். நன்றி.
Marichu Lacerna Monte is originally from the island of Oriental Mindoro in the Philippines. She has been working in Singapore for almost 9 years now. Her 3 adorable sons are her inspiration. She loves writing because it is the only way she can express her hidden feelings.
Hi, hello to everybody. From the province of Oriental Mindoro, Philippines, this is Maricho Lacerna Monte and this is my entry piece. Sa uhaw na pugad. Kawangis ay ibong, sa pugad ay sabik. Madama ang tamis ng yakap at halik. Sa lamig ng gabing lungkot ang katalik, hanggang kailan kaya luhay matitiis. Iniwan ang pugad dahil sa pangarap. Nilipad ang taas at asul na ulap. Doon ay nabigot na bali ang pakpak, bumagsak sa isang madilim na gubat. Mga kabiguang sa puso'y lumatay. Nasa diwa't isip ay nananalaytay. Sugatan kong pakpak tuwing ikakampay, nagbibigay lakas ay mga inakay. Sa bawat hagupit ng baging bumungad, ang tanging hangad ko sila'y makayakap. Kahit sa pangarap sana ay matupad, muling makaapak sa uhaw na pugad. Ang sinag ng Pasko'y paano tatanawin kung narerehasan ng gabing madilim? Ang uhaw kong pugad nais mangyakapin, kung paay may gapos, paano gagawin? Ang awit ng aking naiwang inakay, tulad ay regalong saki iaalay. Kahit ang isip ko'y lubang nalulumbay, kung sila'y matanaw, diway mabubuhay. Tanging kahilingan sa Paskong darating, Ugad ko'y lambungan, sinag na maningning. Kahit na malayo, sana'y makarating, tamis ng kanilang mga paglalambing. Taginting at siklap ng kanilang ngiti, higit sa regalong aking hinihingi. Kasiyahan doon ay mamumutawi, sa pangungulilay lubhang pumapawi. Thank you.
Novia Arluma is a domestic worker from East Java, Indonesia. She has been working in Singapore for almost 14 years now. She is a single mother with 2 children. As a domestic worker, she is concerned about her fellow domestic workers' conditions, and she volunteers to give counseling to anyone who is experiencing problems. She writes to spread awareness and gives other people a voice. She uses social media to share information about the rules and rights of her fellow Indonesian migrant workers. She created her blog in Bahasa to focus on migrant workers' issues, positive activities, and motivation. Recently, she opened a platform up to her fellow Indonesian migrant workers and ex-migrant workers so they can share their stories and real-life journeys. She also writes poetry to express her feelings whenever she sees or hears or reads about anything she feels connected to.
Sang pengembara. Dia pernah membangun jalan, namun dia harus berjalan di tepian. Dia pernah membangun rumah, namun dia harus tinggal di luaran. Dia mencoba menulis syair, namun dia tak bisa menyanyikannya. Dia mencoba melukis mimpi di langit, namun awan menutupinya. Dia terus melangkah, meskipun hujan yang mengguyur telah menghapus jejak-jejak kaki yang pernah ditinggalkan oleh sang pengembara. Ya, dialah sang pengembara itu. Dia yang tidak pernah lelah mencari sesuatu yang dia yakini. Wahai sang pengembara, jangan pernah merasa lelah berjalan, karena hakikat dari kehidupan adalah sebuah perjalanan. Thank you.
Nurul Alam N.A. was born in Dhaka, Bangladesh. He moved to Singapore in 2009. He was known to be a good student at school. In addition to studying, he would write different kind of literature, such as poetry. His writing has been published in different magazines. After he first arrived in Singapore, he struggled to find a place where he could study literature. One day, he saw the office of Singapore's Bangla Kantam magazine and became acquainted with some of its poets and writers. Since then, he has been encouraged to write again. He has also enjoyed meeting people at SingLit Station and Carnival of Poetry. A book about his writing from Singapore has been published in Bangladesh under the name Watermarks of Tears, and the book is acclaimed by many.
আমি প্রবাসী, আমি এক সত্যিকারের সৈনিক, যে দেশ হতে দেশান্তর হয়ে শত প্রতিকূলতায় নিজেকে নিয়ন্ত্রণ করছি। কর্মক্ষেত্রে অক্লান্ত পরিশ্রম আর ঘাম ঝরেও নিজেকে অলসতে নুয়ে পড়তে দিই না। আমি প্রবাসী, আমি সত্যিকারের দেশপ্রেমিক, যে পরিবারের হাল ও দেশের অর্থনৈতিক চাকা সচল রাখতে অপরিসীম ভূমিকা পালন করছি। আজ তোমরা নামি দামি জামা পরছো, দামি মোবাইল কিনছো, বিলাসিতা করছো, তাতে তো আমারও অবদান রয়েছে। আমি প্রবাসী, আমি সৎ উপার্জনকারী, যার টাকায় রয়েছে শহীদদের রক্তের ন্যায় সুগন্ধি ছড়ানো, যার টাকার স্পর্শ আসে গর্ব, আসে অহংকার। আমি প্রবাসী, আমার মধ্যে রয়েছে পিছু টান। দেশান্তর হয়ে প্রতিটি মুহূর্তে পরিবার, আত্মীয়জন ও বন্ধুদের স্মরণ করি। যোগাযোগ বিচ্ছিন্ন বা মায়া ত্যাগ করা বড় দায়। আমি প্রবাসী, আমি এক রেমিটেন্স যোদ্ধা। দেশে ভাবমূর্তি বৃদ্ধি ও অর্থনৈতিক উন্নয়নে ভূমিকা পালন করছি। পরিবারের সচ্ছলতা ও সমাজে মাথা উঁচু করে বাঁচতে নিজের মনের সঙ্গে প্রতিনিয়ত যুদ্ধ করে চলছি। রেমিটেন্স পাঠায় বলেই দেশ আজ উন্নয়নের রোল মডেল। আমি প্রবাসী। আমি এক অবহেলিত সৈনিক, যে সমাজের কাছে, সরকারের কাছে, পরিবারের কাছে, এমনকি রাস্তার মেয়েদের কাছে অবহেলিত, যে দেশের বিমানবন্দরে লাঞ্ছিত, হয়রানির ভোগান্তি ভোগ করাচ্ছ, যাকে তোমরা কামলা বলে আখ্যায়িত করছো, যার ব্যাগেজে মাল ও অক্ষুণ্ণ রাখতে পারো না। আমি প্রবাসী। আমি তোমাদের কাছে তিরস্কার পাত্র। পাত্রী দেখতে গেলেও প্রবাসী ছেলে বলে অবজ্ঞা করছো। নিজের আদর্শ, যোগ্যতা ও দেশপ্রেম দিয়ে দেশকে একটি আদর্শ রাষ্ট্র হিসেবে বিশ্ব দরবারে পৌঁছে দেওয়ার প্রচেষ্টায় আমি সেই প্রবাসী। হ্যাঁ, আমি সেই প্রবাসী।
Armadavan, who hails from Tamil Nadu, India, is currently working in the construction sector and directed a short film, Salary Day. Salary Day is a short film depicting a day in the life of a migrant worker in Singapore. Though the film features little dialogue, the attention to seemingly mundane details communicates the struggles and choices that the migrant workers here have to undertake in the face of exhausting labor and low wages.
Welcome to all. I am going to recite my poem November 28. I want to dedicate this poem to my pregnant wife. November 28. விமானமும் விரையுமோ எங்கனவு பலிக்க, எவ்வீட்டு இளவரசனோ எட்டி உதைக்கிறானா முட்டி பார்க்கிறானா, ஏந்தரப்ப எங்கன்னு என் பொஞ்சாதி வயிற்றுல, ஏக்கமா அதையும் அவ சொல்ல, ஏக்கமா அதையும் அவ சொல்ல, என் ஆசை அம்புட்டோம் வண்டி கட்டி நிற்கிது நான் போக, வானமும் எல்லையா நிற்க வந்து எப்படி நானும் பார்ப்பேனோ, இப்படிக்கு தந்தையாக தவிச்சு நிற்கிறேன் நானும் முழுசா, இப்படிக்கு தந்தையாக தவிச்சு நிற்கிறேன் நானும் முழுசா. Thank you all.
Rajendran Vijaya Khan has been working in Singapore since 2013 as a project engineer for different companies. His forthcoming book, Manita Siragugal, or Human Wings in English, is about Tamil poems in India. He strongly believes that the poetry is the key to open the modern world to all the different kinds of emotion that he holds.
உலக தமிழர்களுக்கும் தமிழ் அன்னைக்கும் என் முதற்கண் வணக்கம். கூடவே சக போட்டியாளர்களுக்கும் என் வணக்கங்கள். எனது பெயர் ராஜேந்திரன் விஜயகாந்த். கவிதையின் தலைப்பு தேக்காவில் பொம்மை வாங்குபவன். எப்போதுமே பொம்மை கடை ஒரு விசித்திரத்தை கொண்டுள்ளது. விளையாட்டு பிள்ளைக்கு வாங்க இந்த பொம்மை சரியாக இருக்கும் என ஊகித்துவிட்டு கூடவே கையில் கிடைக்கும் பொம்மைகள் எல்லாம் தடை பார்க்கிறேன். துப்பாக்கி ஒன்றை எடுத்து வாஞ்ச தீர சுட்டு பார்க்கிறேன். நாய் பொம்மை ஒன்றை தூக்கி பார்த்தேன். எந்திர மனிதனின் சாவியை திருகிவிட்டு எப்படி பேசுகிறது என்று பார்க்கிறேன். மகிழ்ந்து ஒன்றை கண்ணாடி பலகையில் ஓட்டி பார்க்கிறேன். குரங்கு பொம்மை ஒன்றை அதன் கையில் வைத்திருந்த வாழைப்பழத்தை பிடுங்கிவிட்டு அழ வைத்து பார்க்கிறேன். வானூர்தி ஒன்றை பறக்க செய்து பார்க்கிறேன். பூனை ஒன்றை மியாவென்று கத்த வைத்து பார்க்கிறேன். மாடு ஒன்றை நடக்க வைத்து பார்க்கிறேன். புலி ஒன்றை பயத்துடன் மெதுவாக தடவி பார்க்கிறேன். மெதுவாக தொட்டு பார்க்கிறேன். கடைசியில் என்னை மறந்து நானே குழந்தையாக மாறி நிற்கிறேன். எதை வாங்க வேண்டும் என்பதை மறந்து. உண்மையில் ஓரிடத்தில் இருக்கும் இந்த பொம்மைகளுக்குள் எந்த பொறாமையும் இல்லை. புலி வேட்டையாடவில்லை. துப்பாக்கி யாரையும் சுடவில்லை. நாய் கடிக்கவில்லை. பூனை பாலை திருடவில்லை. மாடு கன்றை தேடவில்லை. குரங்கு சேட்டை செய்யவில்லை. எந்திர மனிதன் எந்த வேலையும் செய்யவில்லை. மகிழ்ந்து யாரையும் ஏற்றி மகிழ்விக்கவில்லை. நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Sumarni, or Ani, is the second child of 5 siblings. She migrated to Singapore to help families. Her friends and her former boss have told her that she is a cheerful and smiling person. Her dream is to make her parents smile, which is why she is in Singapore as a domestic worker. Before coming to Singapore, she lives in a rented house that leaked when it rained. Her mother's sadness motivated her to rise from this situation. In January 2019, on her birthday, she was finally able to buy shelter for her family. When she was in the middle school, she often wrote stories, both short and long, and they were published in different magazines. Apart from writing, her other hobbies included singing, learning foreign languages, and learning about new things around her.
Halo, nama saya Sumarni dari Indonesia. Saya akan membacakan puisi tentang debu. Debu. Aku adalah debu. Tak perlu kau menghindar dariku. Sebab aku ada di mana-mana. Termasuk di sekitarmu. Aku ada di laci mejamu. Di atas televisimu. Dan di dalam laptopmu. Yang tempo hari telah kau usir dengan sebatang kemonci. Aku tak pernah pergi dari tempat ini dan akan selalu berkeliaran di sini. Setiap hari, aku masuk melalui rongga hidung. Terus melaju dan menuju paru-parumu. Menyatu dengan tubuhmu dan selalu bersamamu. Ya, karena aku adalah debu. Aku juga ada di kamar tidurmu. Saat cahaya matahari datang melalui jendela, aku terlihat seperti partikel-partikel kecil yang berterbangan. Hingga kamu berusaha mengusirku dengan kibasan tanganmu. Aku yang semula tenang menjadi kalang kabut olehmu. Dan yang kulihat, kau malah senang dengan hal itu. Hingga aku tenang kembali. Kamu melakukannya lagi dan berulang-ulang kali. Ketika hari terang, kau membenciku. Karena aku begitu menyesakkan untukmu. Ketika hari hujan, kau menertawaiku. Yang sirna di tengah-tengah derasnya. Itulah aku. Debu yang tak kau inginkan kehadirannya. Jika debu adalah cinta, aku akan selalu bertebaran di rumah yang selalu sepi. Dan jika hati adalah rumah, jadi jika kau memang membenciku, isilah hatimu. Jangan biarkan tempat itu kosong. Jika tidak, bersiaplah. Aku akan datang menyebarkan seluruh bagian tubuhku. Sekecil partikel memenuhi hatimu. Menempel di dindingmu. Menempel di hatimu. Dan mengganggumu. Karena aku adalah debu. Menempel di tubuhmu. Paru-parumu dan hatimu. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Orminingsi is a domestic worker from Lampung, Indonesia. She loves flowers and children. Her hobbies include watching movies and reading. By writing poetry, which she sees as a form of self-healing, she is able to let go of all her pent-up feelings. To Orminingsi, it is an honor whenever other people can relate to her, to the message she tries to convey in her poetry.
Forgotten Dancers by Orminingsi. We are the great dancers who came from the foreign land, arranging iron, stacking stone with our bare hands. Drenched with sweat under the scorching sun, In the midst of pouring rain, rigorous loads of movements, we soar and spin, surrounded by a torrid wind. We toil arduously at the grandest stages for this nation. We give blood, sweat, and tears, labor of love for perfection, to have you performed your act without hesitation. The moment the stages are ready, you're there, standing tall, full of glory. Impressed the world with your colossal performance. Riding high didn't spare us a glance. Feeling proud of the outcome. Feeling sad, we are forbidden to beat the drum. Uninvited guests in this celebration, amidst thunderous applause, standing ovation, we stand solemnly, long for a single word of appreciation. We set aside our self-pity and pain. We understand we never have the right to pop up a champagne. As the days become years, we carry on dancing in full gears. Graceful movement, difficult maneuvers. Sometimes we dance dangling in the air. When we dance at the great height, searing pain, balletly we relight. We broke our legs, gritting our teeth, we reckoned we deserved a break. Note, we've been replaced. Our absence has gone unnoticed. We are the forgotten dancers, tired and weary. We could only seek solace from each other. We have no place in this beautiful display. Left behind without a single nod nor goodbye. Thank you.
And there you have it, our Singapore finalists for this year's competitions. Wow, Naive. What do you think and feel after you heard about the poem?
Well, I think it is brilliant. Perhaps our situation, as cliche as it sounds, has just rubbed salt to an open wound, making all of these emotions bleed into these powerful words. Tough, eh?
Yes, it is.
And you know what, Sugi?
What is it?
I feel like maybe it is as tough as the job of our judges, and I am glad I am not the one deciding who the winner will be. And now let us meet them and hear their thoughts about the finalists.
Hi everyone, my name is Nabila. I'm a playwright and a poet.
Hi, I'm Alvin Pang. I'm a poet and editor and a returning judge to this competition.
Hi everyone. I am Lata here. I'm a journalist and also a poet.
Hi, I'm Texing of VC. I write poems and I'm also a returning judge.
Thank you, all of you, for sharing. Okay, so we went through the poetries and we decided the winner. Can one of you share what was the process like and how difficult was it to judge, if it is?
Yeah, actually, the problem is it was a bit too smooth. We normally, go to a back alley and fight. But this time, I think there was a very good consensus. We had to meet on Zoom because, of course, this year everything is happening on Zoom. Normally we meet in person. So we were wondering how we do it, but I think it was quite straightforward. We met in the morning, and we had an Excel sheet, and we all talked about our choices. Then after that, after whittling down the list to a smaller number, we looked at all the performances, which were all very good. So the first thing I want to say is thank you to all the participants for offering their words and poems. In the end, what's important is your voices, and that we get to hear your voices, and we really appreciate that. And after listening to the voices and having a look carefully at the poems again, we decided on our final lists, which is the list we have today. I think the choices were quite unanimous. I think there's some really strong poems here. So again, thank you for that. What do my fellow judges think?
Oh yeah, I agree with you, Alvin. It is quite decision is unanimous, and then some of the poems are quite strong to have some. But it was clear. That was very clear when deciding 1 and 2. When we're deciding the 3 and 3rd places, we have a bit of tough because there are similar poems. So it's quite difficult to listen. But listening to their voice and their recording, it's helped us in a way to decide the 1, 2, 3, because when we also look at the way they perform, the way they express their feelings, it just helps us.
Thank you. And why do you think, out of 16 finalists, why do these 3 people or 4 people stood out from the competition?
I think.
Yeah, Nabila.
Some of the poems, they are able to dramatize the whole poems into something very impactful for us, and the imageries that they use actually is both local or dear to them, and they mix them up. And there are ironies that you can actually, after some of the readings, you can go in deep into their psychological and philosophical mindset. I think these are the poems that some of the things that I think I picked.
Yeah, maybe to add to what Tek Sing said, it's quite interesting because we first encounter them on the page and in English, which gives us already a rich kind of like reading of the poem and the emotions, for example. But then when we see the videos, right, it actually brings to life some things that sometimes can't be translated on the page. Some of the emotions are more, and I felt deeper for some, for some of these feelings that are expressed. So that was very exciting for a competition that's being judged like in this year's kind of conditions.
Yeah. It's surprising how the quality of the writing and the poems and the feelings can come across even in a digital form. So that's something that I find very encouraging, that if we're listening, if we really care about what we're doing, it does come across even on a digital recording. And even though you can say something is lost, but the really good stuff comes through. I find also that just because something is simple doesn't mean that it's simplistic, right? Just because something is simple, sometimes it's because it's very clear, and it's stronger because it's subtle, right? That there's a lot of layers to the writing. So you'll find that, for example, some of the winners, they look quite simple on the page, but when you listen to it, when you read it carefully, you realize there are a lot of things going on beneath the surface. So that's something that I want to point out can also be the mark of a good poem as well. And of course, many of the performances were just deeply, deeply moving. And that includes not just the winners, but also some of the others that we were watching as well. Yeah. So again, really want to thank you, everyone. Yeah, Lata.
Yes.
Yeah.
To add, Alvin, even though we don't understand some of the language, but if the performance is quite powerful and moving, we have to congratulate everyone and thankful to everyone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So thank you again for letting us look at the work. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
And congratulations to the winners and to everyone who was a finalist and who participated. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you to our esteemed panel of judges for deliberating the finals. To our viewers, are you ready to find out who the winners are?
As you saw a few moments ago, the judges have deliberated and we are happy to announce that we have made the decision. Here are our top 3 winners for the Migrant Poetry Competition 2020.
Yes, the third prize winner is. We have 2 winners for this year. Congratulations to Eleanor Fadila and Sumani. Congratulations.
Yay! And the second prize goes to
Mahfuzur Rahman.
Hooray! And finally,
And the first prize of the Singapore Migrant Worker Poetry Competition 2020 is Rajendran Vijayakan.
Yay! Congratulations all!
Congratulations to the winners!
Share the prize, huh?
It always amazes me how poetry can make us look deeper into things that seems very ordinary, makes us reflect on what's behind that picture, the longing, the suffering, even injustices, or simply just the appreciation and the mundane that we always neglected. And also, as a migrant myself, some of the poetries today really speaks to me. Our journey, the decisions we made, why we are here. There are also poetries that leaves me questioning myself, made me questions in the issues of where the society we're in. Some actually made me uncomfortable and inspires me to be a better person, perhaps to be more kind, more understanding, and more compassionate.
That's right, Ivy. And on personal note, the poem of Mahfuzur Rahman that caught my eyes and my senses, it really speaks to me personally and question myself. Who am I really? To people who knew my journey through this community, you might know me as a poet, a writer, an actor, but who am I really? Sometimes there is always this feeling of being needed, but not always included. And that one poem, the one who by stole in the Dhaka, as I read his poem, my memory cannot travel back into my childhood and where I remember playing with the doll that my parents bought for me, and that is, really the best memory that I had for my childhood.
Thank you everyone for staying with us till the end of this event. We would like to encourage our fellow migrant workers to keep writing, creating arts, and telling stories, and be the artist that you are. Please also encourage your friends and spread the love for the arts.
And please continue supporting us by following us on Facebook and Instagram and get involved with the conversation and raise awareness on the life of migrant workers.
Take care and stay safe. Thank you very much.